Hello everybody, Thiem back again with another video. The number one seed Dominic Thiem crashed in the first round. Not first round, it is technically his second round because he gets by in the first match. But in his first match in Dubai against Lloyd Harris, the South African player dude, the 24 years old dude, who actually has never won a tournament in his life, at least not an ATP Tour tournament, the highest level of tennis. What is happening, guys, with Dominic Thiem, with Stefanos Tsitsipas, with Alexander Sasha Zverev? What is happening with these next generations of player, with this future tennis of player? How the hell will the tennis world look like when the big three will retire? What will happen with Federer, when Djokovic, when Nadal will retire? What will happen? It is what we will see. The ATP Tour will be a circus, the ATP Tour will be just like the WTA Tour, guys, like the Women's Tour. The Women's Tour is like a lottery, guys. You don't know who will win. You have so many different champions in Masters, in Grand Slams, in 500 class tournaments, you name it. The same thing will happen with the ATP Tour, man. It will be just a circus. We don't know what will happen. It will be a lottery tour. How often do you see Djokovic, Nadal or Federer lose their first round in the tennis tournaments? Not often, guys. I have talked about this so many times and it is not enough. I will just keep on talking forever. I will not shut off my mouth, guys. Number one seed Dominic Thiem, he crashes. And how does he crash? How does he crash? He wins. Lloyd Harris wins 97% of his first points won. He wins 29 points out of 30 points that he lands his serves. He lands his serve 30 times, Lloyd Harris. And he wins 29 of these points when he lands his first serves. 29 times. That is 97%. And do you know how many first points won on the return that Dominic Thiem wins on Lloyd Harris' first serve? On the first return points won, do you know how many points that Dominic Thiem wins? 3% on first return points won. 3%. You know what, guys? I have never seen these kind of numbers. I have actually never seen a tennis player win 3% on first return points won. I have never seen. Honestly, guys, I swear to God, I have never ever seen a tennis player winning 3% on first return points won. I have never seen a tennis player winning 97% behind his first serves. I've never seen a tennis player winning 29 points out of 30 points that he has landed his first serve, and he wins 29 of those 30 serves that he has landed in. I've never seen before. That is the first time when I saw that yesterday. What does it show to us? What does this show to us? Dominic Thiem, he has never been a good returner. He has improved his returns a little. I have to give him that. He has played some hard court finals the last couple of years, like Australian Open last year. Went down there in an epic battle against Djokovic in 5 sets. He won his first ever Masters, his only Masters in a hard court, Indian Wells 2019, I believe it is, 2 years ago against Roger Federer. So he has improved his returns a little, Dominic Thiem, but they are still horrible. They are not top 10. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder who has worse returns. Is it Federer or is it Dominic Thiem? Tell me. I don't know. I'm confused myself because Roger Federer is not. He is not a superior returner himself. That's why he has lost over 20 matches when he has had match points. That's why 23, I think it is total now, with his recent loss last week, Roger Federer against Bashiashvili. I'm gonna pronounce his name right this time, which I didn't do last week. But to Federer's defense last week against Bashiashvili, he at least showed to me, to you, to the world, that Federer is not. He's not weaker than these next generations. Is Federer weaker than Tsitsipas? Is Federer weaker than Medvedev? Is Federer weaker than Zverev? Is Federer weaker than Dominic Thiem? Who gave Bashiashvili his best run for his money in Doha last week? It was Roger Federer, for God's sakes. It was Roger Federer. He gave Bashiashvili his hardest run for his money. He was only 1 point away of defeating Bashiashvili. And look what Bashiashvili did to Rublev. I'm sorry, not Rublev. To Fritz in the semifinals. I'm talking about last week because I know Bashiashvili lost against Fritz now yesterday in 3 sets. Even though it was a tough battle, he lost that third set 7-4 in that tiebreak. Bashiashvili against Fritz yesterday in Dubai, the first round or second round. Call it what you want. I'm talking about last week. Bashiashvili, he took out Fritz in straight sets in the semifinals last week, which I actually predicted that he will do with a friend of mine when I talked with him. Even though I never did that, I never did a video about that. And he took out also RBA in the final, Bashiashvili in straight sets, and I also thought he would take out RBA in the final. That shows to us that Federer. He played good tennis against Bashiashvili. He played good tennis. Bashiashvili just outpowered him because he has such heavy ground strokes, Bashiashvili. But the problem is, of course, he lacks consistency. Like 95% of the tour. What is sports all about? Consistency, consistency, consistency. It is not about doing peaking here and there. Why do you think the big three are so special? Why do you think the big three are so unique? Because they are consistent machines. They are consistent monsters. They are consistent predators. I can't say that about Medvedev. I can't say that about Zverev. I can't say that about Tsitsipas. I can't say that about Thiem. All respect to Thiem. He has played 4 Grand Slam finals. He's the best player outside the big three. I'm not taking Murray here because, of course, Murray is much better than Thiem. The old Murray, the old Stan Wawrinka. I'm talking about comparing Thiem with Zverev, with Tsitsipas, Medvedev. He is the best player among these. He has defeated the big three 16 times. 16 times, my friends. That is respect. That is the respect. No one has defeated the big three more times than Dominic Thiem, if we don't count Andy Murray, who has defeated the big three 29 times. Andy Murray is the #1 leader, the overwhelming #1 leader of defeating the big three most times, with 29 times. I believe he has defeated Novak Djokovic 11 times, Roger Federer 11 times, and Rafael Nadal 7 times. Andy Murray. And then second on that race is Dominic Thiem with 16 times. So we should have some kind of expectation on Dominic Thiem. And he is not over 30 years old like Andy Murray. Andy Murray is in a big decline. He will never win a slam again. He will never win a 1000 Master title again, Andy Murray. But Dominic Thiem is 27 years old. He just won his first ever Grand Slam title 6-7 months ago in US Open in New York, even though that he would probably never have won that tournament. If not, Djokovic would have defaulted himself. We saw what kind of chalk fest that US Open final was between Dominic Thiem and Alexander Zverev. They could barely walk the last 5-6 games in that 5th set. The player who choked less, he was the winner. And that was Dominic Thiem. But he still is the Grand Slam champion. Something that Medvedev cannot call himself a Grand Slam champion. Something that Zverev cannot call himself a Grand Slam champion. Something that Stefano Tsitsipas cannot call themselves a Grand Slam champion. Look, guys, the tennis future doesn't look bright. Hope the big three plays tennis 10 more years so we can enjoy of them. We can watch them. Do you think do you think Djokovic? Do you think Nadal? Not even Roger Federer, for God's sakes. Do you think they would have lost the first round in Dubai? Look at Federer. He didn't play tennis for 1 year. Over 1 year. He didn't lose his first match in Dubai, in Doha. He won his first match in Doha. And he lost with dignity against the champion Nicolas Basilashvili in Doha last week. With dignity. If Federer would not have been outside of the competition for over 1 year, he would have defeated Basilashvili in that match. Federer was rusty. Federer was not exhausted. He looked tired in that third set against Basilashvili. We cannot give the big three enough credit what they have done to tennis. What they have shown to us. They have spoiled us. Because look what the others are doing. Look at Medvedev. All respect to Medvedev. He won his 10th title in Marseille last week. Yeah, all respect to him. But he's not the most consistent machine either. He's not. He lost the first round in Rotterdam. Guys. We should stop hyping these so-called next gens. These so-called old gens. With these so-called future gens. Look at Felix Alassime. I am the guilty one. I was hyping him 12, 13, 14, 15 months ago. I said that this will be the next superstar. Forget that. Forget what I said. I speak so much that some words that I say, just forget them. I was wrong about Felix Alassime. 7 finals in the ATP Tour. All of the finals he lost in straight sets. He didn't even take one set, Felix Alassime. And Denis Shapovalov, he doesn't know how to construct points. He thinks every shot is attackable. He thinks that you should attack every single shot. Now, what has Denis Shapovalov done? He has won only one tournament. One 250 class tournament. In Sweden, 250 class Stockholm Open. 2 years ago, 2019, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And these dudes, they are young, 20, 21, 22 years old. Thiem is the oldest of this so-called young generation, 27. He should not go out in the first round as a first seed, and the way also he lost. It is perfectly normal to lose tennis matches. You will not win every single tennis match. You will lose a lot of tennis matches during your career. You will lose, but if you lose, do it with dignity. Like Roger Federer did. A 39 years old dude gave Basilashvili his hardest run in Doha. But when Thiem loses with 3 points won on their first return points won, 3%. But when Thiem loses, when Lloyd Harris wins 97% behind his first points won, 97%. That is not any good sign. You know what? Lose like a man. Lose with dignity. A la Federer, a la Djokovic, a la Nadal. Nadal lost against Tsitsipas in Australian Open quarterfinal. He lost with dignity. It was not like Nadal was winning 3% on the first return points won like Thiem did yesterday against Lloyd Harris. It was not like Tsitsipas won 97% behind his first points won. Nadal lost like a man. He lost with dignity. He gave Tsitsipas a hell of a run of his money. And Tsitsipas was exhausted in the semifinals. And he crashed out his straight sets against Medvedev. So you can say more or less it was Nadal who knocked out Tsitsipas physically. So the big three are not as good as before. Of course they are not. I can see that with my eyes. I believe in my eyes. They are not hitting the ball as hard as before. They are not as fit as before, especially not Federer and Nadal, in my opinion. I'm seeing Nadal more and more tired than I ever did before, and Federer as well. And even Djokovic, he also shows some tiredness sometimes. They are not hitting the ball as big as before. But they are still much better than everyone else. That is the conclusion of this video. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, see you next time. Peace.